Welcome to another episode of What is Going On in the UC. Something has to explain the stagnation of the last 21 years. Restoration has a purpose. The purpose of restoration is foundation of faith and foundation of substance. What's foundation of faith? Foundation of faith is responsible person, required offering, and a time period, usually with some kind of principle number 3, 4, 7, 10, 12, 21, 40, okay, 30, all right? The second part of restoration is foundation of substance. Okay, why do we have to do this foundation of faith and foundation of substance? Because Satan during that era is the actual ruler. And as the ruler, he has a very clear deal that he's making. And that deal is this. People cannot go and be with God and God's side unless they prove that they absolutely are resisting and getting away, so-called separating from Satan. And in order to do this, they have to do things that Satan doesn't like to do. Okay? They have to pass through some kind of situation that Satan himself will not pass through. So Satan will not honor God through foundation of faith. Okay? He doesn't want to be faithful. He doesn't want to establish the principle because the principle sheds too much light on his darkness. Okay? So he doesn't want to do that. So as we create foundation of faith, we're separating from Satan and creating a foundation for God to speak to us. Okay? And when God speaks to us, we can realize that we are in a unique relationship with God. As soon as we do the condition, we set the condition that we can relate with God. Okay? Why? We separated from Satan and God is able to talk to us individually. So that makes us feel good as individual children of God or so-called religious people. And any religion can experience this kind of thing through some kind of offering or a devotional exercise. The second thing that we do is called foundation of substance. And this is another way of escaping Satan by doing something that he does not like to do. Okay, what is that? Satan does not like to respect human beings. He never respected Adam. Okay, so this is also the condition to remove the fallen nature. Okay, let me remind you, the reason why we do foundation of faith and substance is because Satan is the ruler, and he's making a deal that we cannot go to God legally because we're his unless we make a condition to prove that we don't want to be with him. Okay, we have to actually separate from Satan. Okay, and we have to do this so that he will relinquish his claim, and then we can we have clearance to go be with God. Okay, now, so foundation of substance, we have to deal with those pressures that Satan was under. We have to deal with the same emotional pressures that he was under. He was jealous of Adam. He didn't like whatever God's plan was. And so we know the four fallen natures, right? First of all, he felt lack of love. He didn't deal with that properly. Second thing he felt was failure to see from God's viewpoint, leaving his position, reversal of dominion, multiplication of the criminal act, and some people even think there's a fifth fallen nature called the rigid defense. Regardless, if we can confess, we undo the rigid defense. If we will not ensnare people in our justifications, we undo fallen nature number 4. If we can keep our position and not topple people in positions of authority, even though we think they're idiots, no matter what, we'll keep our position, then we undo that claim. And I hope you see where I'm going. And if we can, not reverse dominion and keep our position, great. And then if we can actually see people from God's point of view and truly love and appreciate them the way that Jacob did when he met Esau. It's actually not Esau that says, "When I see you, I see God." It's actually Jacob, right? And so Jacob did that to such a degree, like his mind was washed in the idea that Esau was actually, even though Esau doesn't know it, that Esau is actually the creation of God, and that God is actually, reflected through Esau, that Jacob's eyes had been transformed to where he could see God in people. This foundation of substance. And when we do this, Satan cannot hang on to us because he's not like that. So this is restoration, and we have to perform these two. We have to create foundation of faith and foundation of substance, just in order to separate from Satan, right? So now here's what happens when we get to an era. Mind you, the whole purpose of restoration is to separate from Satan, because Satan legally has a claim that forces us to jump through these hoops. The era after true parents is an era where we are not bound by this rigid need to make a foundation of faith and foundation of substance. We can go in front of God because true parents said so, and because true parents claimed us. Okay? This does not mean, me saying this does not mean that the children of true parents, or people who feel claimed by true parents, don't have to do good things anymore. Don't actually have to make conditions or make offerings to God, or don't have to be good to people and respect people in positions of authority. No. But what it means is we are not bound to do those things in order to feel the love of God. We can feel that because we are now children and the relationship is one of parents and children. That means the advent of true parents. Before 1992, Father technically was in John the Baptist's position. A lot of people don't like to deal with that, but that's true. So Father reinvents himself as true parents in 1992, and what that means is we have to start to wear this whole identity of child. And children are loved even when they make mistakes. So if we actually are renewed in true parents' blessing, we realize we no longer have sin. We still do make mistakes, but I'm not even sure you want to call that sin. We make mistakes, but it's not sin if you make a mistake and you still feel like God's child. Okay? This is why Father said people who don't know that restoration is over are allowing Satan to continue to act, and I'll explain what I think that means. So restoration is not here anymore, and we don't have to jump through these hoops to furnish proof for Satan, because he's not the Lord of this world anymore. Right? You see what I'm getting at? But when we stay in a conversation with Satan where Satan's saying, you got to do that foundation of faith thing, right? Come on, where's my foundation of faith? Come on, give it to me. Where's my foundation of faith? And we still actually serving him by not responding to our own Shinjung connection with God anymore, but responding to this criticism from this angel. This is how we actually empower him, by paying attention to him and spending our time doing things for the express purpose of getting him to shut up. This angel is shut up, right? So here we are saying, God, I ain't got time to listen to you right now because I'm busy fighting with this angel, right? And it's not even time to fight with the angel anymore. So the angel actually, he never stops complaining because he's got you now. He's got you distracted. So why is he going to give up on something that's working for him? So you find that he never stops complaining, and you never stop trying to prove yourself, okay, until you piss out all of your energy. Does this explain the stagnation of the last 21 years? I think so. I've seen a lot of members just piss out every last bit of their vitality. And really, you could blame a lot of people. I think Satan just tricked a lot of people. But the bottom line is whether or not you believed true parents when he claimed true parents. Whether or not you believed him when he said restoration is over. Whether or not you believed him when he said this is the era of Fourth Adam. You know, the question is whether or not you actually accept the gifts of true parents. Because if you do, they themselves should liberate you. being in possession of such splendid gifts. Another thing Father said is follow your conscience more than God. So, you know, being liberated from this whole realm of guilt and accusation and burden of proof, okay, and just being free to have filial piety, reciprocating with your true parents, giving back to them things not out of like blind obedience or duty, but out of the love-centered obedience, like where you gladly do this for someone who did so much for you. Okay, this is the basis of our relationship now. So relationships, the power really doesn't come in the Cain-Abel relationship anymore. The power comes in the husband and wife relationship, because the husband and wife relationship is the gift from true parents. So we relate to true parents through the ways in which we appreciate and celebrate and expand on that gift. This whole world is looking for true couples. It's looking for true love. So it's an era waiting for the sons and daughters of God. Okay? Even the rocks are waiting. Okay, peace.